All right. What about now? Yeah, no, it's not you. It's me. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, I'm here. I'm just very, very late. So it turns out that if I start the live stream before I plug the microphone in, then even though it's on, it doesn't pick up on it. Anyway, I fixed it. I'm sorry. Hello. Okay, I'm so glad you can hear me. I have not had time to check that I look okay, that everything is sitting okay. But I'm here. Yay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone, that you thought that it was you. It was me. It was me. It was my audio. Okay, so I managed to race down and grab Vella's food before starting. I didn't manage to get a tea. I could only grab hot water because there was not time. So the reason I am so late is poor time management, as always, but I just finished an exam. So I haven't even had time to process how I did in the exam because I literally finished it and then turned my desk around and started setting up. I thought I could get this set up quickly. Obviously, I couldn't get it set up quickly. I'm just time blind. But anyway, I started too late, but it's a 90-minute exam. And I thought maybe, I'd finish a little bit early and I'd have time to set up, but I didn't. I didn't submit until the last second. So, yeah. So, okay, cool. We've got numbers back. I thought I might have lost some of you because I turned up late and then I had no sound. But I am here. Thank you for coming, everyone. My brain is just starting to boot up from exam mode. Okay, yeah, my hair looks terrible. It's okay. It's okay. I also ran out like a mad woman to Officeworks to print my notes for my exam. I was going to do it without printed notes because the expense of printing, but I'm so glad I got them printed because flicking between tabs to look at like digital copies of things, it doesn't work for me. Oh, thank you, Nikki. All right. Okay, cool. I need to like become zen and actually be able to concentrate on what you're saying. I also, because I've been stressed and I've had so much on today, I forgot to eat. And then I tried to quickly eat something before I started the exam, but like my stomach said no. So I'm running on one coffee and one tea and this hot water now. Anyway, okay. All right. So how is everyone doing? I'm an extra level of anxious and uselessness tonight, but that's okay. I'll settle in and it will be fine. Plus, you guys are here and you guys are all great. Okay, so what have I missed? You couldn't hear me. Yep. Okay, I should say hello to everyone. Hello, Greg. Hello, Jacqueline. Hello, Nikki, as always. Hello, Veronica, if you're still here. You may have left because of my uselessness. And hello, Tim and Leander. And did I say Jacqueline? Hello, Jacqueline. Okay. All right, I'm going to take some deep breaths. Thank you, Nikki. This is why I need Nikki around. Okay. All right, so Tim asked, how do you find studying? Is it hard to go back? I feel like I wouldn't know how to write assignments anymore. That's a good question. Let me just process it. Give you an answer. Okay, I feel like the camera is too close to me. Let me just move the desk back. All right. Okay, cool. Okay, I think that's better. I don't know. Maybe it's not better. Okay. Okay, so for me, my studying has been in like the last decade. So because I had kids young, I didn't do the study thing until later in life. So at first, yes, it was hard to get back into it. But yeah, I did a diploma of counseling, but that was just through TAFE. So obviously the assignments are super easy at TAFE. Well, I found them easy. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend anyone. It's a different standard than university, I guess. So it like eased me into it. And then I started a Bachelor of Arts in English and Cultural Studies, which is probably not a good plan, and I have a bunch of debt from it. But partway through that, I decided to switch to a double degree with law because I felt like I was more likely to actually get a job with a law degree than my arts degree. Some people are very competitive in like the professional writing and creative writing space, but there are a lot of people trying to get work in that, and it's very competitive. And I just felt like law would be, it can be competitive, but it can also not be competitive. Like you can get a job with a law degree, even if you're not a competitive person. You won't get into the top firms and that kind of thing, but you could just do estate planning at a small, like regional law office, and you don't need to be competitive for that. So yeah. Okay. But yes, so I think it eased me in. And law assessments were actually a breath of fresh air compared to English and cultural studies because it's something more solid to hold on to, like the theories and whatnot. In arts, I really enjoyed it and still do enjoy it because I'm still going to finish that degree. But I'm enjoying law because, I don't know, it feels more factual in some ways, but you still get to like think outside of the box. So I enjoy it. Okay. All right. Hello, Matt. And yes, the fur ball. I don't know if you can, oh, you can see her foot. Yeah, she's just happy that I didn't forget to feed her. I did forget to feed her. She normally gets fed around 7:00, but I just fed her as I was running around like a headless chook trying to get on here. All right. Yeah, cool. That's interesting, Tim. Law, like in my degree, it seems to be, I guess we all know this, a lot of people do it as a second career later in life. So yeah, there's a lot of older people that have had careers in other things. A lot of doctors have been doing my degree at the same time as like my current class. There's a lot of doctors that are now training to be a lawyer. So that's very interesting. Yeah, I haven't actually asked them why they chose to do that, but yeah, I guess it's pretty self-explanatory maybe, though different people have different reasons. Sorry, if you don't mind me asking, Tim, what do you do now and what interests you about law? So I guess I can understand doctors who also deal with lawyers might see that they don't want to deal with patients anymore and would rather be on that side of things because they'd be in a good position to do health law, I guess, because they've got a medical background. But yeah, what do you do, Tim? And what interests you about law? Okay, I'm going to take a sip of my hot water. I haven't asked you all, what is everybody drinking tonight? Not only is this just hot water, but I had a tea in it during my exam. So it's kind of got the dregs of the tea with added hot water. So it's not going to be that great. I'm not going to lie, but I can pretend that it's enjoyable. It is liquid, which I definitely need. Okay. That's an interesting thought, Nikki. So Nikki says, perhaps the doctors have witnessed lots of injustice and want to fix the system. It's probably, yeah, it might be some people's reasons. Yeah. I have no idea. I should ask them. Yes, Nikki, it is swamp hot water. Okay, you're waiting for Joe to make you a tea. Nice, nice. And Jacqueline's just finished a lady shake, which is coffee flavor. Nice. I don't know what a lady shake is, but it sounds delicious. It's got lady in the name. Okay, so Tim, you work in accounts/accounting, but thinking of switching things up. I'm 32. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, and if you've already got a degree, then you only have to do a Juris Doctor. Well, only a Juris Doctor. Yeah. I don't know if Juris Doctors, no, they probably cost about the same amount as a full degree, don't they? I'm doing a 3-year degree. Most law degrees are 4 years or longer, but I'm doing a 3-year degree. But yeah, definitely consider it. Maybe. I don't know. Don't know if I would recommend it. I enjoy it, obviously. Okay, Leander, you're drinking water. I am still on pain meds. Ooh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that, Leander. How are you feeling? Hey, Katrina. You're not late. I only just got here. I finished my exam late, so yeah. You're not late. I'm late. So yeah, Katrina said hello. Hey, sorry, I'm late. Lost my phone in Canberra today, so on my partner's phone on our way back from Canberra. Oh no, I'm so sorry you lost your phone. That's terrible. But thank you for coming. Did you otherwise have a nice trip to Canberra and back? But yeah, I'm sorry. You don't live that far from Canberra, do you? From memory of where you live? Goulburn? Are you the one in Goulburn? I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm sorry you lost your phone. That sucks. Okay, Jacqueline, it's a meal replacement shake. Okay. Instead of snacking. Okay, that's a good idea. I need something like that. Okay. Matt is having ice cold fizzy sarsaparilla. That is really good. Yeah, I'm a bit jealous of that one, to be honest, because I'm a bit warm and I do have hot liquid, but that's okay. It's okay. Oh, yeah, you're welcome, Tim. I don't know if it was good advice. I don't know if it was good advice. I'm still trying to reboot after sitting an exam, so I don't know if it was good advice. I don't even know what I said, to be honest. It's all right. My brain will calm down. Like I am 103. I'm not sure what you mean, Leander. So I asked you how you're doing. Is 103 your temperature? That couldn't be a temperature because that'd be in Fahrenheit. You're 103 on a scale of 0 to 100? You're off the chart. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure it out. Okay, so Katrina made caramel slice last night. So as soon as I get home, I'm smashing into it and pigging out. Oh, that sounds really good. Nice. Well done, Katrina. It's something to look forward to make up for a maybe not great day losing your phone. Okay, cool. I don't know how to pronounce Goulburn, but yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's not too far from Canberra, is it? Oh, okay, so Katrina says, yes, I lost an iPhone and I really miss it, but what can I do? Nothing, because I can't even get on to find my phone. So you're just going home to rebuild your life. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Leander. That makes perfect sense. Like, that makes absolute sense. What I said made no sense. All right, so you feel like you're 103. I'm so sorry. Yeah, all my cognitive energy has disappeared into the void because yeah. Yeah, and I'm sorry, Katrina. So can you find your phone when you get home? Like, is it still possible to find it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, sorry, Leander. Yes, let's have a laugh. Oh, okay. So I'm just processing how I think I actually did on this exam. I think I went okay. So a lot of times I find that the teacher will give you a list of things to concentrate on for revision. And depending on the teacher, sometimes that list of things to revise comes up in the exam and sometimes it doesn't. So you might have spent heaps of time revising those specific things and then other things come up. I don't know why that happens. I don't know if like they're messing with you because they want you to cover everything, or if they've given you an old list of things to revise from a previous trimester's exam. This time, fortunately, the list that she said to revise, it all came up. So all the work I'd put into my notes where like I itemized the different things. I don't know if anyone's interested. Probably not, but I'm going to say it anyway because I'm going through things. So generally with a law unit, most of them, because the law is very much like, I'm not doing criminal law at the moment, but like in order to charge someone with this, it has to meet certain elements, like certain criteria. And so usually in a unit for law, each week will sometimes build off the week before, but it's usually like different things like, homicide and which will then get broken down into murder and manslaughter, sexual offenses, property offenses, so that kind of thing. So every week will have its own list of elements and different things that you need to know in case that thing comes up. But then you get to the actual final exam and it could be any one of those things. You don't know what's going to be in it. It could be property offenses, it could be sexual offenses, and then within sexual offenses, it could be like any lots of different charges, basically. Like you don't know what's going to come up. So you have to prepare for all of them. And you have to write up lots of notes, but you have to write up notes for every single week and every single different type of charge that might come up, if you know what I mean. So the notes take a long time because when you get into the exam, once you see, oh, it's a property offense, like it's a burglary, you can immediately open up your notes to the section on burglary. But you have to write something for every single one that could come up because you don't know until you get to the exam. But as long as you've prepared good notes, you'll immediately open up to burglary, and then you'll have to name the different elements and provide the legislation and the common law precedent that might apply. So you have to break it down, but you don't know going in what things it's going to be. So you have to study for all of it. Yeah. So I didn't know going in exactly what was going to come up. But fortunately, I feel like I'd written good notes on the things that did come up, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. Back to the comments since I've had my little yeah, I'm just decompressing from the exam. Yeah. All right. Okay, so all right, so you gave people your partner's number to call if they find your phone. Well, that's good. Yeah, well, hopefully somebody calls. All right, Katrina, you've got a habit of leaving things on the roof of the car when you strap the baby in his seat and forgetting I've left things on the roof of my car. Yeah, I used to do the exact same thing. And often I would accidentally, when I had babies in car seats, I would sometimes lock the keys in the car for that reason, because I'd put the keys down inside the car whilst I took the baby out. Yeah, so that used to happen to me. I used to have to call RECQ regularly to come and get my keys out of the car. So yes, I'd put things on the roof and I'd leave the keys in the car. I don't know what was wrong with me, but yeah, I understand. I think that's very common because you're worried about getting your little person out of the car, right? Like that's your focus. And you have to free up your hands. So you just free up your hands so you can do the important task. But yeah, then you don't do the final step of retrieving the thing that you got out of your hands. Yeah, Ken's not here. Yeah, I haven't heard from Ken in a few days in the comments, but maybe they're busy in the lead up to Christmas. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Jacqueline says, my ex-husband used to do that, Katrina, usually his wallet. Yeah. Yep. Bottles of water, left those on top of the car. Once we got like a taller car where I couldn't put things on the roof, I stopped doing it. But it was only because like we got a Subaru Forester when the kids were, I think our youngest was 2. Yeah, and I couldn't, and also it had like the roof rack things on top. Yeah, so that's the only thing that stopped that habit. It was that we got a car that I couldn't put things easily up there. Yeah, so then I think I'd start putting it like, you know, in the opening of the door. I just put it down, and then you can't physically close the door of the car without retrieving it. But yes. So last time Katrina lost her purse because she left it on the roof of the car. Yeah. Did you get the purse back? I'm sorry. That's not fun. That's actually, oh, hello, Rachel. I'm sorry, I didn't say hi to you. I didn't notice you were here. Yes, hello, Rachel. I was also late. I just finished an exam and I timed it poorly. Like I didn't, so you could start the exam whenever you wanted to, but you needed an hour and a half to complete it. And the hour and a half, yeah, it was very close to the live stream. So it was either do it before the live stream or rush through this and then do it before midnight. But I decided I just wanted to get it out of the way, basically. So yeah, I was also late. Yeah, I probably look a bit disheveled because I ran around like a headless chook trying to move the desk into place and go get a drink and feed the cat. Otherwise, she'd be meowing the whole time saying, "Mum, where is my dinner?" That's actually like an interesting idea about the putting the reminder on your dashboard so that then when you sit down in the front seat, yeah, have you left anything on the roof? That could work, but I might become desensitized to the sticky note or whatever that tells me to check the roof. But it could work. Jacqueline, congratulations. You passed your driving test last week. Well done. And do you have a car that you can use? Like, can you drive straight away? Have you been driving this week? Oh, yeah, if you passed last week, have you been driving this week? And have you enjoyed it? All right. Hello, Welliano? 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 Welly? Should I call you Welly? You're not late. I was late. plus, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. What am I studying? I'm studying law. But I'm also trying to finish an arts degree as well in English and cultural studies. So I'm doing law and arts, but I'm pretty sure the law is the one that's actually going to lead to a job. So I'm mostly focusing on that. So I'm depending on what happens with life. I try and do some arts units during the summer break to try and knock them out. Because, yeah, if I can just finish my major with my arts degree, then I should be able to use all my second year and third year law units to like get the credit transferred over to complete the arts degree. If that makes sense. I don't know. I don't need to tell you all this, but I have told you all this. So yeah, in short, law and arts, but mostly law. Thank you for asking. I'm sorry that my answers are all over the place at the moment. Yeah, thank you, Rachel. Yes, the exam was important. Yeah, and I'm glad that I did get it out the way so that I can just like try and relax now with you guys. So yes, I think I made the right decision. It's been a bit of I've been in a fluster and in a tizzy all day, but I think it all worked out in the end. So I'm here now, and it's all good. All right. So, Greg, okay, you left your car keys in the box of shopping and shut the boot and locked yourself out of your second car, a Holden SL Gemini, many years ago. Yeah, I can understand this. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm glad it's not just me, Greg, that other people do these things too. I guess it's just part of the human condition. Sometimes we just do these things. Thank you, Rachel. That's how did you know, Rachel? I did mention this earlier. So I discovered around 6 o'clock that I had put toast in to the toaster for breakfast, but I'd never actually, like, it was still in the toaster, now cold. So I have forgotten to eat. I've drunk one coffee and 1 cup of tea, and I'm now drinking a cup of hot water because I was racing around. I didn't have time to get actual like tea or anything. I just poured some hot water. So no, I am not hydrated. I have not been fed. I have completely forgotten to eat today. Yeah. Yeah. So I did make myself something to eat when I realized that the toast was there, but then I'm trying to like shovel it into my mouth before the exam started, and I ate 1 piece of toast. I couldn't finish the second one. I was too nervous. So yeah, I've eaten 1 piece of toast basically, which is fine. All right. Okay, so Jacqueline, you need to save more money to get the car. Well, it's a good first step getting the license. That's awesome. Like, well done. Yeah, my mum didn't learn how to drive until she was in her 40s. So, yeah, I think she was probably a safer driver for it. But she did think that the driving tester was like easier on her because she was a woman in her 40s, which makes sense. You know, they're going to give the young guys who are likely to hoon around in their cars a harder time. When I did my driving test, I think I was 20. Was I 20? Yeah, I was 20. Maybe I was 21. Yeah, I was 21. So I was pregnant with our 3rd child when I did my driving test. And I do think he was easy on me because for my reverse park, I was just very nervous, and he could tell I was very nervous. And for the reverse park, I had lined it up perfectly, but then like I lost my nerve and I went to come out of the reverse park. Like I'm like, no, I need to start again. And he grabbed the steering wheel, the driving test person, and he said, no, it's fine. Just keep going back. And then he held the steering wheel for the rest of my reverse park. So I don't think that really counts. But it wasn't me. Like I didn't ask him to do that. And what am I meant to do? Like he's grabbed the wheel. So I didn't technically do my reverse park for my driving test, and I've never done a reverse park since. And that was what, 20 years ago? So yeah, okay, your reverse park wasn't great. Yeah, look, apparently mine wasn't either, Jacqueline. So I completely understand. But yeah, some people are really good with the reverse parks, and I probably should have been practicing them for 20 years. But on the other hand, you can absolutely get by driving without ever doing a reverse park. 20 years, have never done one. Unless you, no, I've never done a reverse park. The only thing that I do in reverse to park is like pull into one driving spot head on and then reverse into the one behind. That's as much reverse parking as I do, and it's not really a reverse park. So, okay, yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right. Okay, Leander. No, it's a Bachelor of Arts. I could have done it in like fine arts, but it's kind of an umbrella term in humanities arts. So for me, I'm doing English and cultural studies. Now, the reason I picked that is there's professional writing and creative writing units. And since I was a child, I had dreams of being an author. I don't think it's for me. Certainly not as like a career. I did enjoy like doing short stories and whatnot, and I have entered them into various competitions. I've been like, these are just like online writing competitions. I did get longlisted for an essay and for a flash fiction story. But other than that, like I've never won anything, and I haven't written anything since. So yeah, so there were creative writing and professional writing units in my English and cultural studies, but mostly I did it because at that particular university, the cultural studies subjects, they do them for a much cheaper price than their regular units. So when I first started, they had them for like $500, which is very cheap. So I just figured I could have less HEX debt on my arts degree if I did the cultural studies units. So I think there's like 6 units in my major that are all $500, which is handy because I decided to do a double degree. So I've spent less on that. I don't know what English and cultural studies is actually good for, other than if you wanted to then do a master's, you could become a teacher, which is an option for me. But yeah, I guess I decided to do law instead. So yeah, not drawing or that kind of art. Some people in my cohort, they're also doing fine arts or like graphic art. But yeah, mine specifically like more creative writing and professional writing, that kind of thing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you for dobbing on me to Rachel about the one bit of toast. Jeez. Yeah, I'm hoping it will settle my gut. Definitely. Yeah. Rachel, yeah. So you were a late learner for learning to drive as well. Almost 30. Was scared I'd crash into a child while learning, so avoided it. Yeah, I still fear not noticing something on the road even now. So yeah. It's a very nerve-wracking thing, driving. But it's even more scary to think that other people don't care as much as we do about hitting other people. So they're just driving with zero anxiety. I'd probably rather be a little bit anxious when I'm driving so that I'm a little more careful. Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm like, what are you talking about, Rachel? You're talking about my reverse park. So yeah, the driving tester knew that I wouldn't need the reverse park and I'd showed caution. Yeah, look, I think technically he wasn't meant to like tick that box, but it's okay. Yeah, I've never reverse parked again. I probably should have done it straight away because I guess also because he did that, I also lost confidence in my ability to do the reverse park on my own because I should have been able to do it. Like I could do it. Like he said, I'd lined it up perfectly. But yeah, the fact that I didn't pass the test with a real reverse park in my mind, it was another reason why I like just never did it again. But I already hated it, so it's fine. I don't miss the reverse park, but I do really admire people that can do a good reverse park. When I'm seeing them doing it, I'm like, wow, they're amazing. I can't do that. Thank you, Greg, for giving advice on which car people should get. Because if you're a car guy, and from memory you are, yeah, it's good information to have. Okay, Welly, you've just started reverse parking after 20 years of reverse parking phobia. You can do it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. There's a part of me that wants to give it a go because, like, I really admire people who can do it. Like, I'm so impressed when I see people do it. I guess I just need to find an area where there's not many people around and practice it. Oh, Leander, don't feel silly. Is that because I said don't dob me into Rachel? I was joking. No. I really like that you told her. If that's what you're saying now, I feel silly. Don't feel sorry. No. It was just a bit of banter. I love that you told her. It's fine. I'm sorry. My sense of humor can be a bit weird sometimes. I apologize. Oh, it's the meds that made you tell. Okay, maybe you're talking about something else that made you feel silly. What else did you say that might make you? Oh, the arts thing. No, don't feel silly about that. It actually makes absolutely no sense. Bachelor of Arts, like it makes no sense. It's just an umbrella term. I think for many years, yeah, no, don't feel silly about that one. It like actually makes no sense. A Bachelor of Arts. And different universities call it different things. Like it'll be a different major at a different place. And my particular university, I have two different universities, one for my arts degree, one for my law degree. And like what does English and cultural studies even mean? I don't know. And I've almost completed the major. Like what does that even mean? I mean, cultural studies, like I get that because I've done all the units for the major, but I don't like I couldn't even tell you exactly what it's about. It's a bit airy-fairy, if I'm honest. And I enjoyed it for a long time, but I'm really enjoying law because it's less airy-fairy, if you know what I mean. Now, I'm not saying airy-fairy is bad. It's given me a lot of critical thinking skills that I didn't previously had. And I think that's why a lot of proponents for Bachelor of Arts are like, no, we have to keep these in universities because they teach students critical thinking. regardless of like the specifics of their degree. I just don't know if it's worth paying for. That's the thing. Like, because if you're not actually going to get a job with it, is it actually worth paying for? It's good that I'm learning those like critical thinking skills, but yeah. What you're thinking is way more practical, which is drawing or fine arts, which I agree. And some people that did some units that I was in, who are also in the Bachelor of Arts, but with a different major, the skills they're learning seem a lot more useful to me than what I was learning. Mine seems to be like cultural studies seems to be, if you want to become an English teacher, then these are all like the critical theories that you need to learn to effectively be an English teacher in this day and age. But yeah, it wasn't written on the degree when I picked it that this is really the degree that you do if you want to be a teacher. Because why would you do that instead of a teaching degree? You know what I mean? But like, yeah. So no, don't you feel silly. It's a silly degree. Well, I don't know if it is a silly degree. I don't regret it, but it probably was a waste of money. But yeah, I also really like how it taught me how to do a lot of critical thinking and to read like, you know, journal articles and to understand. I understand academia better for having done it, but whether that's a useful skill if I don't go into academia, which I'm not going to, I don't know. It's probably a weird path for me to go down based on what you said. So I'm sorry. I hope I haven't offended you. Yeah, I do remember that ad, Rachel, of a child running between parked cars chasing a ball onto the road. I used to get recurring nightmares. Yes, and it made me like super paranoid with my kids, which I guess was part of the plan too. Balls were only ever allowed to be played with, like ball games of any kind, in the backyard with a fence. Yeah, because I was just paranoid about. I mean, when our kids were little, we lived on a cul-de-sac anyway, so it was, and there weren't very many cars, but I was still paranoid about that. So yeah, it had a profound effect on me too. And if I ever see like a kid with a ball on the side of the road, I will slow to a crawl just in case. Even though they've not knocked the ball anywhere near the road, I'm just like, it could happen in a flash. So I have to be going as slow as possible so that I can stop. Thank you, Nikki. All right. Thank you, Leander, for letting me know that you were talking about arts. And then I talked about arts an awful lot. I don't know if I actually got to a point. But yeah. Okay, Greg. So Greg says, when I was 6 years old, Dad would chase sheep, open the door, and jump out of the ute. My job was to grab the steering wheel and drive in circles, and you couldn't touch the pedals. Okay. You must be very comfortable with driving now. You have a lifetime of experience. Sounds like a good memory, though. Yeah, Nikki said that. Great minds think alike. Yeah, all right. So you learned to drive early. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I assume you can reach the pedals now, so it's pretty good. Okay, Jacqueline, that makes sense. So your younger brother was in a serious car accident when you were about 7. I never really wanted to drive because of that. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that would definitely make you more cautious of driving. I can imagine, Greg. So Greg says we've lost a few kids in farm accidents here, driving and motorcycles. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a thing on properties, isn't it? So on the one hand, like kids that grow up on properties have a pretty awesome life, but there's a lot of motorcycle accidents or vehicles of some description. And a lot of like trauma, like I've heard of, because I used to live in a community where there were farms and properties. And so I heard stories of like friends of friends and family members that I hadn't met of neighbors who had like permanent traumatic brain injuries from their accident where like they couldn't store, like they had no short-term memory, only long-term memory. So they could still work on the farm, but they didn't realize that they'd aged, you know, they just went out and did the jobs that they'd always done, but they couldn't store new memories. That was one particular guy, which was a pretty sad story. Although he was happy, but it was obviously hard on his family. Okay, that's good to know, Jacqueline, that your brother recovered. But yeah, it would have been very scary. Yes, Rachel, farm kids are built different. Definitely. Hi, Patrice. All right, so he said, hot evening here out of west of Sydney. Great to be here in the discussions. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Yeah, it's been a bit warm and sticky lately. Which I'm okay with. But for me, at least when it rains, I know that the rain's probably not going to fall on my head here. So that's an advantage. It's pretty luxurious. So yeah, I'm enjoying rain in a sealed house that has ventilation. So Jacqueline also grew up in a farming area, and so did Rachel. Rachel? Yes. Okay, cool. Greg, you don't mean like your direct family? Sorry, I didn't mean to dismiss what you were saying about losing a few kids in farm accidents here driving motors. I assumed you meant in your community, like in the area. You don't mean like your actual child or like loved one. So I'm sorry if I was insensitive. I just assumed that you meant in the region that you're in. So I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Hi, Annie. Nice to have you. So Annie says, evening, Enid. It's cool here. Heavy rain and my bed is actually on. Your bed is on. Like warming bed, but I'm always cold. Like electric blanket or your bed actually warms itself. I don't know. I'm a little bit all over the place tonight. So some people are saying things that make perfect sense, but when I read them out, they make no sense to me. It's just one of those days. So it could make absolute sense that there's heavy rain and your bed is actually on. That could make sense. Electric blanket. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, cool. That sounds very toasty. And yes, Rachel says wind is different in a tent versus solid walls. That's for sure. Yes. Yep. It really is. It's amazing having solid walls. I do miss being in like a tent because you really feel like, and I guess this is why people go camping. it's like you're in nature, but you're slightly protected from like snakes coming in and whatnot. But you can hear everything. So yeah, I guess that's why people like camping. I should say I hadn't really gone camping before I started living off grid camping full time. So that was kind of my first camping. Um, Before then, like, I'd had like weekends away every now and then, but it was always like on a campground with facilities. So the first time I properly camped, I did it full time. I like jumped into the deep end. Um, but yeah, I miss it. But yeah, that's obviously why people go camping, because they enjoy feeling like they're in nature. But for me, it was new as I was living in it. Yes, Welly. So my home that I've come from to here, um, we were building our own house, and we lived in tents, but we did have a shipping container that had like a sliding door and a whirly bird that we put in. So yeah, we were in a shipping container and tents. We started in tents, but because we were living in the tropics, so we were there from March. No, weren't we? Anyway, we got there basically for winter. But then once the rain started, and I think it was November, so it would have been 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we had like our first very minor storm come through, and it basically took out, we had like a marquee that we'd put over the tents to keep some of the rain off and the condensation. And the problem with those marquees is if water pools on them and like they're not held taut enough, they end up tearing. And yeah, we were keeping up with it when it was just a light rain, but the first time we had like even just a minor storm when we were in the tents, we lost the marquees, they tore, and we very quickly decided, okay, we need to get like a shipping container that's got a little more rain protection. So yeah, but our living area was still the tents. We had 2 tents. Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of living in a tent. I was living in a tent for quite some time. Yeah. I would sleep in the tent because I really liked sleeping in the tent. And the shipping container, like, it was not good air quality. So I actually preferred to sleep in the tent. But when the torrential rain started in the tropics, I would usually have to go into the shipping container. But yeah, we were living in tents, but also a shipping container. So they were kind of solid walls, but not, yeah. It was more solid, but the humidity inside the shipping container, it didn't have good airflow because we hadn't put a window in. We just had a sliding door and a whirly bird. So it was interesting. I still really liked it though. Like, yeah, I do miss it, even though it doesn't sound like much to other people. Yeah. Yeah, I was always a bit worried about lightning. We did have, so we were up the side of a mountain, and we had like national forest behind us. So there were a lot of trees behind us. So yeah, we never actually got hit by any lightning, but I was always a little bit worried. We did have like a little bit of a roof that we'd built out of like PVC pipe and shade cloth that we put over the top of the shipping container to try and absorb some of the sun. But we used to bake in there in summer. I spent a lot of time in town at the library when the weather was at its worst. So, although we had a road, like a 600-meter road, that we would drive up, and it was a dirt road that we put in. And when it had been raining for weeks, it was too soft. Like we'd get trapped up there basically. So that was always fun. And we didn't have running water. So we'd have to make sure we collected enough water before the rain came. But it was actually like, I don't know, my life was pretty exciting. So it might sound horrible to some people, but I enjoyed it. It was like you were more in touch with nature. and more in touch with like your own survival. So yeah, I was forced to have to think things through. Like, okay, there's rain forecast for the next 4 weeks. We need to make sure we've got enough supplies, and we need to plan when we're going to go up and down the road. Sometimes we would have to walk in the rain and mud and park the car at the bottom of the road. That was an option, but you had to plan ahead, because if you're in bed in the middle of the night and the torrential rain starts and then it never stops, then you might be trapped without being able to leave the car at the bottom, if that makes sense. But I don't know, it was pretty exciting. All right. So I've been speaking way too much. I made the mistake of reading back the transcript from our last live stream, or just like having a look at it. And yeah, lots of ums and repeating words, but I can't help it. This is why I have to edit videos for my vlogs, because I say a lot of ums and repeat words, but that's okay. Where am I up to? Yeah, okay. All right, Jacqueline's off to hang her washing. Yes, I did forget self-care, like remembering to eat and drink. It's all right. Okay, yes, Rachel, I will drink. Okay. No, it's doing that jumping thing. See, if I get too far behind on the chat, then it's hard to get it to scroll. Like, I'll be scrolling back and then it'll just suddenly jump to the bottom and I have to scroll. Anyway, you don't care. But that's why I make weird noises trying to find where I'm up to. Okay, cool. So Diane, hello Diane. You bought a Too Good To Go bag because of my suggestion. The Harris Farm Bakery one is good. Lots of bread, a loaf of Sonoma bagels, and a charcoal gluten-free sourdough loaf. All for $6. Wow, that's a really good deal. Well done. Hello, user KK4ZW5J04T. It's good to have you. I'm sure you've got a real name, but I can't see it. But hello, thank you for coming. All right. Okay, so Greg says it wasn't any of your family that was injured. You were the only boy and the rest were sisters. Okay, so if you survived, then your sisters were likely to do less risky things than you. Okay, that makes sense. I'm glad that it wasn't your immediate family. But yeah, okay, cool. I'm glad that I got that right, that you just meant like in your community, which is sad too, but yeah. Sorry, I was just double checking that I wasn't being insensitive when I made that assumption. All right. Yes, user. The user then said, "Happy Friday, Enid and everyone. Happy Friday to you too." Okay. So Rachel suggests on the weekend, can you get up a tent in the backyard? Big W has the cheap $14 ones that pass in good weather and keep bugs out. Short, but they work. That's a cool idea. Yeah, because even just being able to camp in the backyard. And then I can pick when there's good weather too. Okay. So Rachel says, when I was very young, my mother and I lived in an A-frame tent for a while in the 1980s. Okay, nice. An A-frame tent. I'm not sure what an A-frame tent is, but I will look it up later. I've always been fascinated by people that live in yurts. I just don't think yurts are good for tropical weather because I imagine they get moldy. I mean, tents in general are not great long-term solutions in the tropics, but I don't know what an A-frame tent is. It's probably not a yurt because you'd have said yurt, obviously, because people know what that is. Yeah, the extra shade layer, it did make a difference, and it was kind of pitched so, you know, the air could flow in and like through it. We just made it out of PVC pipe and clamped it onto the side of the shipping container and put shade cloth over it. Yes, libraries are great temperature sanctuaries. Always, whether it's hot or cold or wet. Oh, that's cool. So Greg had a World War II army tent. We called it the Gaddafi tent. It was heavy canvas with heavy wood poles. It sleeps 10 people. Yeah, that sounds like a really good tent. Yeah. Yeah, probably more weatherproof than the modern tents that we had. Our tents were okay because we'd always put shade cloth over the top to try and stop the UV from breaking them down. But if you like touched the fly, your finger would go through it because the UV had broken down the fly on the tents. They were falling apart, but they lasted well. Yeah, Welly. So sounds really cool. Actually, I understand why you miss it. Being at the mercy of weather and nature makes you feel alive. Yeah, it really did. Yeah. And we had 2 different years. We had their olive-backed sunbirds. They kind of look like little hummingbirds with hooked beaks. They make like this really cool little nest that they just hang off something. 2 years in a row, they did it off the side of a tent, like one of the ropes coming off the tent to hold it up. These birds built a nest and had their babies. So they were basically living with us, these olive-backed sunbirds. It was beautiful. I really liked that. Thank you, Nikki. Yeah, it was the full human experience. Yes. I mean, on the one hand, we had to haul water, but on the other hand, we had like these massive plastic UV protected jugs that we could just buy from Bunnings for like $24. And we could go to the park and fill it up and then drive it back up. So it's not really hauling water, though it was difficult to carry to the car. I got very strong. Yeah, I could carry 2 10-liter waters on either hand all the way to the car. I could carry 1 25-liter, but I'd have to like switch hands. But it was more that it hurt my hand, the 25 liters, rather than it being too heavy. I mean, it was very heavy and I'd have to go slow. But yeah, it was mostly that the handle would dig into my hands and really hurt. So yeah, I felt like I was hauling water, but really I was hauling it to a vehicle run on petrol that could then drive me up and drop the water relatively close to where it needed to go. But still having to think ahead. Yeah, it was fun. All right. So hello, Tester Bender. Welcome. Or Tester Bend, sorry. I'm sure you're not too attached to how I say your name, but yeah. What was for dinner tonight? Well, I haven't had mine yet. What did you have for dinner? What did everybody else have for dinner? Yeah, I'm just not going to comment on dinner and food because I've done a poor job at being an adult human that feeds and waters themselves. I did remember to feed the cat right before the live stream. So that was good. If you've just arrived, I did an exam right before the live stream. And so I was 15 minutes late because it ended and then I had to like move the desk and run and grab a drink of water and feed the cat. Yeah. Set up the lights, find the microphone, all those important things that I should have done earlier. But yeah, I was doing an exam. It was an hour and a half exam. And so the second that it finished, I jumped on here as quickly as I could. But why am I talking about that? Oh yeah, I didn't grab any food. But I'd love to know what you're having for dinner. Oh, it's you, Mr. Goo. I'm sorry. I wonder why it's doing that. Yeah, you're right. Everybody's name is different today. Yeah, I can only see like the @ handle of everyone. I don't know if that's something I can change or if YouTube is just doing a thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, I've also had this set to live chat instead of newest first, so I hope I haven't missed anything. Again, I got here in a fluster, so I've not. Okay, it's you, Mr. Goo. I'm sorry. Okay, cool. Oh, yes, an A-frame tent would be a triangle because it's the letter A. Okay, don't mind me, Rachel. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, cool. Yes, Enid has been busted on not having dinner. But yeah, I'd love to know what everybody else is eating. Let's put the focus on others. Okay, yes. Okay, that's good, Nikki. You've had some porridge. I'm glad. Welcome back, Jacqueline. Thank you, Leander. Okay. So Jacqueline's thinking of making tuna mornay. Yum. That sounds delicious. Oh no, Mr. Goo. You had food poisoning, so you've just had a proper meal for the first time in days. Okay, well, I'm glad that you're feeling better and you're able to keep something down. That's great. But yeah, I'm sorry you've had food poisoning. That is never fun. There's no such thing as an okay food poisoning. They're always bad. They're just levels of bad. So I hope it wasn't like the worst level of bad. I mean, you're not hospitalized, I assume. So it's probably not the worst level of food poisoning. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you, Diane. I am. Still no takers. Still not doing everything I could be doing. So yeah. That's interesting, Greg. So Greg says that since he stopped sharing sheep, he's just having one meal per day because it's all he feels like. Yeah, I guess because you were doing a lot of exercise before. That's good that your appetite has adjusted to the lower level of like exertion. Because for a lot of people that have done like a really active job or lived a really active lifestyle, the appetite stays, just the exercise has diminished. But yeah, that's good that your body has like told you. All right, well, he had some chicken stew and a cheese toasty. Oh, that sounds really good. And yes, I'm going to say everything sounds really good because I should probably eat something. No, but it does all sound good. Sorry, my chair is making noises. It does all sound really good. There's very few foods that I don't like the sound of. Yeah, but chicken stew and a cheese toasty. Yum. Bit of crunch with some stew. Very good. All right, Rachel, you had 2-minute noodles with teriyaki sauce and mayo because that's what you felt like. Pretzels followed with lots of drinking water and water/juice mixes all day. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, if that's what you felt like, that sounds yummy. Good night, Leander. Thank you for coming along, even though you don't feel well. I hope that you are feeling much, much better very soon. But yeah, I'm sorry that that you're feeling 103. See, I've remembered. I've remembered that that's what you meant. Yeah, I hope you feel better very soon. And thank you for coming. Okay, cool. Mr. Goo, on the milder side. I'm glad that it was on the milder side, but yeah, it's still always awful, isn't it? So. Rachel says a 10-pack of fantastic noodles are best value and no useless flavor packets. Nice. Night, night, Leander. Jacqueline. Yeah, okay. You're very much over job hunting. Had an interview on Thursday. Such a waste of time. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm saying sorry so much today. Yeah, that sucks. I haven't gotten through to the physical interview stage yet. But I've had a phone call that was a waste of time. Yeah, and then like they'll get your hopes up by asking for more information or yeah, but it never seems to go anywhere after that. So yeah. I don't know. Is job hunting always this hard? I was very lucky in my last job hunt because first of all, a job just came to me, the coffee van, through neighbors. So I didn't really need to even be looking for work to get that one. And then when I was applying for other jobs, yeah, I was just kind of spoiled for choice, I guess, because it was a small regional city. But yeah, it's not like that here at all. I've spoken to some other people and they're finding the job hunt particularly difficult. So I don't know if it's just a me thing because I've got so little experience or if lots of people are experiencing this. But yeah, when I apply online, often I can see how many applicants there have been. And it's always a high number. So even if it's only 50 other applicants, that's still like 50 other people. And I'm unlikely to be their first choice. But yes, I know I have to like go in places and drop off a resume. That's my best bet. But I will get there. I just need to get through like exams and then yeah, start focusing more, I guess. Yeah. We have another person coming to look at the room that we have up on Sunday. So hopefully she wants it, because that would take a lot of the pressure off if we had someone in the room. Yeah, because at the moment the additional rent is just like killing me. It's a lot. Rent was already a large portion. My other option is I could go on job seekers. I'm on Oz Study at the moment, and I have like an income bank. So if I could get part-time work and continue studying, then I can earn some money and get the Oz Study. So I've got like, yeah, that was my plan. So I've stuck with that. But if I were to go on job seekers, I think I would get $200 more a fortnight, which would make paying the extra rent more doable. But yeah, I've just been putting off doing that. But also, if I go on job seekers, then they'll help me find work, I assume. And I'm applying for the jobs anyway, so like I meet all the conditions. But yeah, I haven't been ready to go there yet, but things are, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I have some options. Yeah, and I don't know, like I want to be concentrating on things like my son's coming during December, so they're going to be here for a few weeks. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'd rather be concentrating on that rather than the job hunt. But it's taking up a lot of time. I don't know, it takes up a lot of time. I don't know how other people manage so many things in a day. I just get overwhelmed if I have like too many things going on. Though I guess if it's things that you do routinely, then it's not as much of a cognitive effort to do them. And then there's been a lot of things over the last few weeks that are a lot of emotional effort as well. Like I know I talked a little bit about those in the last live stream. That stuff is still going on. So I made a difficult phone call that I've been putting off today. And again, why did I plan all these things to happen on the same day? Well, because I've been putting off this phone call, and I had to make the phone call today, and it's like court related. And if I didn't make the phone call today, then I basically can't make the phone call and I have to just let it go. So yeah, I made that phone call today. That phone call took longer than I expected, and then I had to race to go and print out things for the exam. I actually yeah. So it's been a bit of a day. Yeah, but I would rather be concentrating on, well, also, so I always make since our kids were little, I've always made like a rich fruit cake for Christmas, and probably a few weeks ago, I managed to budget for most of the ingredients for the rich fruit cake, but I just haven't been able to swing the like I need some sort of spirit, like brandy or rum. But yeah, I've been trying to save to be able to afford that, so I haven't made the rich fruit cake yet. But at this stage, the reason I need the spirits for it is to preserve it for longer. And at this stage, it's not going to need to be preserved because I'm going to make it so close to Christmas. I mean, the brandy or the rum adds to the flavor as well. Yeah. But I will say I've had some amazing people support me on Buy Me a Coffee and here on YouTube in the last week. And that is going to make a huge difference. So I think I can buy, like, I'm just going to get a small bottle of spirits. I think I only need 100 mils to make the fruitcake. So I'll just get like the cheapest one that I can get somewhere. So that is going to make a huge difference for sure. Also, I mentioned previously that I need to take Vela back to the vet. She's still got a little bit of medication left, so I can keep kicking that down the road for a little bit longer. But yeah, I need to take her back. So there's that too. The only thing with Buy Me a Coffee and YouTube, so with Buy Me a Coffee, it takes about a week to get the money if I like try and withdraw it. So yeah, I can't grab it straight away, which is totally fine. I just have to like plan for it. And with YouTube, so you need a minimum amount of $100, 100 Australian dollars to withdraw money from YouTube, like your AdSense. So I'm at like over $50 now. So I'm getting there with the ads. So that will be good. So I've got some money that's coming in from the ads on YouTube, which is great. I just can't take any of it yet because I'm not at the $100 threshold. So I don't know where I'm going with this. What am I even talking about? Yeah, don't know how I got into this. Let me go back to the comments. You guys will get me back in line. We'll work out where I'm going with this. Or we'll move on to something else. All right. Okay. Okay, so Jacqueline, you went to volunteering today, so that was good. Yeah, that's a good idea. I would like to go. There's 2 op shops in walking distance that are looking for volunteers, so I think I will go do that. I've just had too much going on, but that would be good because I could just talk to people. Yeah, and any experience is experience when you have as little work experience as me. So yeah, I would definitely like to do some volunteering. So yeah, good on you. I'm glad you're getting out there and doing stuff. Okay, so changing careers is making it very challenging. I can't remember, Jacqueline. What kinds of jobs are you looking for? If you don't want to say, that's totally fine. Just like what career are you trying to move into? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. If I've ever even asked and you've told me. Okay, that's interesting, Rachel. So you've heard similar issues around job hunting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is right now. Yeah. And you don't know whether to like blame yourself. Like, should you be doing something different? So like, I feel a lot of shame. I mean, thank you, Rachel. You've even mentioned CPTSD. Yeah, I have like, yeah, I feel a bit of shame around the job hunt. Like I should have done better. I should be doing something else. Even though like, I feel like if I could just go hand in resumes, then I'd know that I did other things. Also, someone reached out to me and offered me like help with my resume and working out like a strategy for applying for jobs. And I never got back to her because I couldn't. I can only do so many things at once. And so I feel terrible and guilty about that too, because someone offered me help and I've not taken that help. And if I had taken the help and taken her advice, and if I'd handed in resumes, then I would know that I had done everything. But because I haven't done everything, I'm just like a bit embarrassed that like I've not done enough. But I keep applying for jobs. I'm applying for lots of jobs and I'm doing a personalized cover letter and I'm personalizing the resume every time. Occasionally there's 2 jobs that I can use the same resume for, but often not. Which again, I could use help from people that have more experience than me. So I should have gotten help that's been offered because maybe I'm doing something like really obviously wrong. Like I never know whether to. So for some jobs, I kind of obfuscate how old I am. So I'm like, they don't need to know that. And it might be better if I'm younger with this level of experience. And other jobs, like I focus on, so like any jobs that I'm applying for with like schools or even like youth work, because I've got a diploma of counseling, like you can use that for some things, though they would rather you have like a Cert 4 in youth work rather than the diploma of counseling. Anyway, I might instead emphasize, that I've raised 3 adult children and I have this like life experience in those kinds of jobs, sure. But if I'm applying to Subway and Domino's, I'm kind of like trying to hide how old I am. Though at the end of the day, they know that I'm over 21 because I have to say that I'm over 21 because, and they haven't picked me. I haven't even gotten to an interview for like fast food restaurants because they would, especially because we're coming into the season where like teenagers are off school, they would just rather hire a teenager because they're cheaper. There's no advantage to me being over 21. But yeah, those kinds of jobs, I might like tweak my resume to make it not so obvious how old I am. Yeah. Though I guess the fact that I don't have a high school on there would maybe give them an inkling. All right, so where are we up to? Where am I up to? Welly says, stay strong. I just got a job after 2 years. I did disability support while I was looking, and that kept me busy. Yeah, okay. But congratulations, Welly, on the job that you got after 2 years. So you got a job in something that you were hoping to get a job in, I assume. And you did disability support whilst you were waiting. Well done. Thank you, Jacqueline. Yes, I'm really hoping that she wants it, the room, but I don't know. Yeah, and yeah. I would probably have more luck with looking for someone for the room if, so the house when I moved in, it's got like carpet in most of the house, and in the communal areas, the carpet smells. So I think the previous tenants had dogs. There are dog toys and stuff that I find in the backyard. So I think they definitely had dogs. So the carpet smells like dog. Now, when you've been here for a few weeks, you stop noticing that the carpet smells like dog. But I remember when I first walked into this place and I just got hit with the smell of dirty carpet. I can't afford to be getting the carpets professionally cleaned to try and get someone in the room. So I think that might be putting people off. Also, it's one toilet between 3 people. So if they've got an option to have their own toilet, I'm sure they would pick that. Yeah, I don't know. I thought people were desperate for rooms, but hasn't really been that way yet. So I don't know. But hopefully she likes us, and look, we're nice people. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, Greg. Well, I'm glad. I'm not glad. I'm glad that you have the option to now be home with and help out with the care of your son. That must be like, he must really appreciate that, and your wife must really appreciate that. So yeah, that would be quite a big transition for you, though, I imagine. Like, how are you feeling about the whole transition to a different career, I guess? Thank you, Mr. Goo. That is a good suggestion. Yeah, sometimes they do have an email address for like the HR person that's doing. So yes. Yeah, that could make all the difference. Definitely. Can you do job seekers as a student? Ask. I think it's a thing. Okay, yeah, maybe. And yes, CPTSD does explain many of the things that I'm describing. All right, yeah, okay, Jacqueline. So yeah, they haven't helped you find a job. You have to go to silly appointments once a fortnight, more time wasting. Yeah. And then more, yeah, I guess you don't drive, but yeah, like you have to mess around getting to the appointment too. And either I have to be somewhere within, yeah, that sounds annoying, especially if it's not making any difference. errand day. I know a lot of people who do that one day, everything, and then rest after. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you guys. So Nikki says I have to blitz tasks in one go or I won't do them too. Yeah. Okay. Jacqueline, you're the same. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're all interesting people here, aren't we? All right. Jacqueline says I nearly messaged my driving instructor because I didn't want to do my driving test. I told her after I passed. She told me she would have turned up anyway and dragged me to the car. Oh, that's really nice. I was actually my driving instructor and I did not think I was going to pass because I passed on my first driving test, and neither of us thought that I was going to pass. So yeah, we would talk because he drove me to the driving test and waited to see how I went, and we were like planning our next lesson. Neither of us thought that I was going to pass because I was such a nervous driver. And so he was shocked and I was shocked. And I was so sad. I loved my driving instructor. He was so lovely. And it was like the highlight of my week, having my lesson with my driving instructor. And I was so sad that I wasn't going to get to ever see him again. It was and it was unexpected because neither he nor I thought that our driver instructor relationship was over. We just weren't expecting it. It was just that I'd had so many lessons and he thought that it was like that we needed the goal of we're going to go do the test on this day in a couple of months' time. But neither of us thought that I was ready. But apparently I was, although it's questionable because I couldn't do the reverse park. But yeah, that's so nice that your driving instructor had your back and was going to drag you there. Yeah, I agree, Rachel. The situation with your son, Greg, it does sound rewarding but challenging. Definitely. Okay. All right. So Jacqueline says admin, receptionist, retail. I worked in childcare for 15 years. Okay. Yeah. So you were over it after 15 years. It looks like a difficult job, childcare. Oh, that's awesome, Greg. You're teaching your son how to grow vegetables for the family. That's something good and practical that you can do together and that he can get like a positive outcome out of. I don't know why I'm saying this. Like, you already know these things. I'm affirming your decision, but you don't need me to affirm your decision. Okay, just ignore me. Yeah, Rachel agrees. She says, great idea, Greg. Getting him gardening is wise. Valuable life skill and potential income. I hadn't thought of that. Excellent. Yes. Yep, Rachel, I am the same. Yeah, I had those very strong opinions as you do about that thing too, Rachel. I don't know if I'm as passionate as I used to be. A lot of things have happened since then. But yeah, no, me either. Have not had them. Hello, Mason. Okay, interesting, Rachel. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of carpet though. I don't know how much rice I would need. Also, I probably can't do it in time for Sunday. But yeah, if it puts this person off, I'm probably gonna need to try something. But yeah, I do need to sprinkle the carpet with something because it does not smell good. Ah, that's right, Greg. I do remember that you own the house block next door and you built a tiny house. Okay, so they're building their vegetables over there to keep them healthy and fit and away from the internet. Yeah, we need that. We do. I need someone to force me away from the internet. But then I wouldn't be chatting to you guys. So thank you, Nikki. Oh dear. I'm at a place in my life where I feel like I don't think I'm a particularly attractive woman, but the fact that I'm okay on the eyes is, I don't know that it served me well in my life. I think maybe had I just been a little more unfortunate looking, maybe my life would have been a little bit easier. I at least would have had more of a work history when all this went down. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm a bit negative about my appearance. I wish I'd been a bit uglier, to be honest. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. Okay, thank you, M. M says, I don't know about your state, but here in Melbourne, a lot of our teaching aides don't have qualifications. Could be something to look into, although it wouldn't start until mid-January. I will look into it. I have applied for like admin roles at schools, but I haven't applied for a teacher aide role. So I will definitely see if there's anything up in my area. But yeah, I've applied for admin roles in schools. Nil odor. Okay. The drops, not the spray. Okay. All right. I'll have a look. I'll have a look at it and I'll have a sniff of it, because what I'm worried about is there's the smell of dog, but there's also the smell of something they've put over the smell of dog, and it actually makes it worse. So I will check that it's not nil odor, because the carpet might already smell like nil odor and the previous tenants have put nil odor over the smell of dog, if you know what I mean. But I'll give nil odor a sniff to check if it's that, because I don't know, I actually think it's worse. That I can still smell the dog, but I can smell something else. Okay, all right. Then it's probably not that. They might have just like sprayed like a carpet deodorizer that has like a fragrance. So it's some sort of fragrance I can smell. I really don't think they paid for a carpet cleaner. So I don't think it's like the shampoo that you get with you know, the carpet cleaner that you can hire from like Woolworths or whatever. I don't think it's that. Also, I would recognize that because I've used carpet cleaners when I've moved out of rentals before. So I don't think it's that. It's some sort of weird smell. I don't think they actually cleaned the carpets because they were pretty filthy looking. They're dark gray, so they can hide a lot, but yeah. Okay, so M says we call them classroom support officers and it's pretty nice job. Okay, cool. I do love kids. I'm probably a little too permissive. So I don't know if I need to be stern at all. I'm not very good at being stern, but that's okay. I'm just classroom support, so I can let the teacher be stern. Okay. Oh, okay. So you work with special needs students and help them complete their classwork. Okay, that sounds nice. Okay, that was my next question. Is it mostly like people straight out of school that go into that role because they're planning on being teachers, or are there? Okay, so there's older women as well. Cool. So I wouldn't stand out as an odd choice. Okay, cool. Thank you, Em. I will look into it because, yeah, thank you. And it's also very good to know that they don't have a qualification, because a lot of things I'm applying for, they would prefer you to have like a specific qualification, even if it's like a Cert 3 in something. And I feel I chose poorly when I did a diploma of counseling. It took me 2 years. It cost me almost $9,000, and it wasn't even on HEX, which is good now because it's not in my HEX debt. But I spent a lot of money on this diploma of counseling, and you can't really use it for anything, as far as I can tell. It's more like you might be able to use, like, if you want to actually be a counselor, you need to get a bachelor's in something. But yeah. Okay, Rachel, thank you for coming. Good night. Have an awesome weekend. And yeah, thank you for always giving your insights and ideas. It's always really helpful. I love having you here, Rachel. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy your weekend. You're off too, Mr. Goo. See you later, Mr. Goo. Thank you for coming. Yeah, have a great weekend. And I will see you next time in a fortnight. Yes, yes. Hey, Wild Blackberry. Okay, Greg. So Greg has an evaporate air conditioner. I put a few drops of eucalyptus oil in it. Kills any pet smell. I have 2 kelpies and 1 fluffy cat. Okay. All right. So that's good to know. Although I think eucalyptus is bad for cats. But like the concept will work. I could put a different oil in and do the same thing. But yeah, good to know. Thank you. Thank you, Jacqueline. And yes, you have a wonderful weekend too. And yeah, enjoy your dinner. And thank you for the good luck with the roommate. I hope it goes well. You never know, she might get here and she might like us so much that she doesn't even mind the smell. The last person that came saw Vela and like immediately ran to Vela because they were so excited to see a cat. Vela didn't like it, but yeah, it wasn't enough to, like, maybe if Vela had put on a good show, she would have wanted the room because of the cat. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. But yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to air it out as much as possible. We don't have very good ventilation. There are no ceiling fans. I don't have any pedestal fans. I need to get one to try and push the air out. And it's such a small window in every room. But yeah, I agree with you. I've been trying to air things out. We don't, like, I'm a bit scared as well. Like, I have been airing it out, but the screens, they're not spider proof. They're like not fully integrated into the window, so there's a gap, so spiders can totally get in. But I'm I still have to open the window. I don't even, like, I guess the screens stop a little bit of flies, but the flies can go round the screen. So the screens are of questionable quality. It's a kind of window that I've never had before. Is that why the cat bites you? Because you smell like eucalyptus? Maybe. I don't know if cats know that it's toxic to them, but yeah, look it up. I think eucalyptus is quite dangerous for cats. A lot of essential oils are, but I think eucalyptus is on the list of, yeah. I'm sure it's probably fine, especially if there's not a lot of it. But people that run like like burn oils, like an oil burner, and use a lot of essential oils, often the cats can get like liver failure over time, and they end up dying, and the owner doesn't realize until it's too late. But yeah, you have to be quite careful with essential oils and cats. But I think eucalyptus is definitely on the not safe list. Well, guys, I think we have lost a lot of people who have things to do. So I might let you all go and find things to do that are not staring at me not talking. But yeah, thank you all for coming along. I again apologize for how late I was. It's becoming ridiculous, I know. Not only am I always late, but I am getting progressively later. Yes, it was special circumstances today, which would be fine if it was a one-off, but I keep being 5 to 10 minutes late every fortnight. I'm sorry. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I've really enjoyed it. It was nice to decompress and talk through my exam, even if it was not in the least bit interesting, telling you how a law exam works. Well, I didn't really tell you how it works. I told you a few little things, but I don't even know if it made sense. But that's okay. You listened to me. I appreciate it. Yeah. All right. I hope you all have a really awesome weekend. I'll be cleaning tomorrow in preparation for a potential new housemate looking on Sunday. So that's my weekend. Yeah. I hope yours is more exciting. Although it's always good to get some cleaning done on the weekend. It makes you feel good. Yeah, I will attempt to eat something. Thank you. You're all good, Wild Blackberry. Thank you for dropping in. Yeah, Greg, you have been sober this time. Yeah. Okay, guys. I will see you in a fortnight. Yeah. And in a fortnight, I will discuss where we're going in terms of December so that we avoid Boxing Day. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys. Let me find where I click. Okay, it's always the same spot. You would think I would know. All right. Bye, guys.